Refuge. There are stories we tell each other all the time. Not lies exactly, but stories. Truths we can live with. I'm fine. It's probably for the best. It's all going to work out. Before we know it, a partial truth has become a lie. You're not telling your friends that you're overwhelmed. You've stopped describing pain or addiction or a broken heart. You don't feel nearly as entitled to the full spectrum of emotions, from joy to sorrow, that you wouldn't mind hearing from a loved one. In an effort to save yourself and others from pain, sometimes you start to hit the mute button on your own life. The Psalms are these poems and prayers that express raw emotion. They cry out in anger. They rage against their enemies. They ask God for help. They weep and mourn. They blame God for not showing up soon enough. The Psalms remind us that God can take it all our anger, all our shock, all our confusion, all our sorrow, all our shame, all our fear, all our grief. There's no need to tie a bow around what we feel or make ourselves more presentable to God. Nothing is off limits. We can let it all pour out. In Psalm 46, we read a song of holy confidence that expresses the ways that even as the world falls apart in front of our very eyes, God's presence remains. They sing, "God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging." Psalm 46, 1-3. The psalmist acknowledges the realities that surround us. He does not say, "When everything goes exactly as we planned, then you know that God is with you," or "Your life will always be evidence of God," or "When things aren't going your way, blame yourself. After all, God is always working out everything for the good of those who love God." No. It says the mountains are swallowed up by the depths. The earth crumbles under your toes. Though nations are at war, and kingdoms and cities go bankrupt, though the world as we know it has been upended, it is right there we can find shelter with God, our refuge. God is our safe place, not after the worst is over or before the other shoe drops, but right in the midst of our pain and grief and loss. God is our place of peace as the world around us rages on. There is an eschatological tone here, a future-leaning vision that the psalmist is invoking. We are peering into a divine reality we can't quite see. The earth crumbles, and somehow God is in our midst. Troubles tear down our lives, and yet God is sheltering us with strength and safety and love. When despair has stolen your hope, or grief has ripped your heart from your chest, or you desperately miss someone you can't get back, God is there. When you feel alone or terrified of your own mind, God is there. When you're drowning in an addiction you can't shake, or when you are undone by worry, God is still there. Right in the midst of the trouble, God is with you. You are never alone. A prayer for after a loss. God of all mystery, whose ways are greater than our ways, we don't know why things didn't get better, why addiction wouldn't let him go, why we couldn't save her, why the disease took hold, why the medicine didn't work, why the accident happened to us. They were too young. It was too soon. We weren't ready. We need your presence. Be with us. When the nights grow dark and our fears loom large, be with us. When we face anniversaries and birthdays and holidays without the person we love, be with us. When we make new memories, wishing they were here, be with us. In the midst of the overwhelming love turned into grief, may we find stillness in your presence, O God, our mighty fortress, our strong refuge, our enduring peace. Be with us. O God of refuge, lead us in hope this day and all our days. We cannot do this without you. Amen.